All right, everyone. It's time to talk about the Signal leak story because this is a very confusing one, and we're not 100% sure still because there are so many people who have some inside knowledge, maybe some don't, who were involved with this particular encrypted conversation. We're not exactly sure what happened. But Jeffrey Goldstein was either on purpose or inadvertently added to the messaging app on this instance. Again an encrypted service was added into the conversation and proceeded to link what may or may not be classified information on Iran and upcoming U.S. plans to potentially strike targets in Iran. Now, whether these are simple speculations about, we could possibly do this, or whether it's, hey, we intend to do this, damn, we were bamboozled by this, former, well, still TDS sufferer and former bigger time name against the campaign. Um, Hegseth is involved, Gabbard is involved, the list of people goes on, Walls. So we're not sure exactly how this happened. We're also not sure if the information is actually classified at all. You see, Hegseth has D-class powers over such kinds of material. Um, if he did indeed declassify the material, then is it legal to put it out there and add someone who you know is going to leak it? It's crazy. It wouldn't make a lot of sense, but you can. If you didn't declassify it, then at the very least you committed a mortal mistake for your career. And so we'll wait and see sort of how this pans out. Right now, the fog hasn't lifted, so to speak. We're not, again, 100% sure what's happening. It looks like uh, yeah, Gabbard and a few others are pointing at Hegseth, or no, or not Hegseth, but somebody else. I can't remember which one it was. Vance was involved, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, National Security Advisor Mike Walls, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who I don't think would be the one to do that sort of thing myself, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and others somehow came to include the virulently anti-Trump journalist Jeffrey Goldberg. Two, did the running conversation conducted on the commercially available encrypted app Signal include classified information about the U.S. attack on the Houthi rebels in Yemen on March 15th? So it's about more than strikes on Iran and its partners. It also has to do with other things. We're talking terroristic groups. I believe they're all non-state entities. I don't believe it's like an attack on Tehran itself or something like that. It's very, very difficult to believe that somebody on the inside didn't do this on purpose. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. It could be that there was hacking going on. That is a possibility. I mean, even an encrypted app can, in theory, if somebody had the right connections, it could end up hacked in some way, shape, or form. So again, there is a whole lot of confusion with regards to this basic story. And I'm seeing reports all over the place. It sort of depends what is fixated on whether you go to a more right-leaning media site or a more left-wing media site. Of course, like, Rolling Stone and Vox and all of them, I'm sure that they're having a field day right now, essentially blaming Trump. Well, one of these people done it and he appointed them all and, stuff like that. I don't even bother to check them most of the time anymore unless it's been aggregated to RCP. And I find that some of those less reliable um, and less prosaic media groups are aggregated there a little bit less these days. I wonder why. Could be that less people are going to RCP to bother reading them. Well, yeah, it's basically like looking at the Snow White movie, I suppose, at this point. We'll be talking about that later, by the way, because that's your funny story of the day. Now, somebody did something terribly wrong here. Either again, there was hacking, could have come from inside the app's company itself, for all we know. It could have been that classified material was just jeopardized by a member of the U.S. government. Either of these things are fairly concerning. So, again, not 100% sure exactly what happened here. The fog of war is still very much entrenched at the moment, and Trump is waiting. He seems to have faith in all of his staff and is sort of, I think, probably on the inside calling them into the office and saying, "Did you do it?" I have a feeling that that might be happening literally as we speak. So it had to have been something happened because the material should not have been released even if it was declassed. And if Hegseth did declassify it, in all probability, it would have been him that actually put the journo onto the encrypted app's instance. At least that would be the sensible, rational takeaway from it. Again, though, let's not point fingers when we don't know who to point them at, because it could be a number of many culprits. Not sure. That's about all. Peace out.